Well, it looks like the offense from a week ago that only managed to score 6 total runs against this very same opponent came to life for once. You see the good that comes with playing up to your abilities for once, Pirates, and I only wish that it can continue at a consistent pace. What's going on, everybody? I'm Mac. Back with another video. As always, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, follow on Instagram. Link is in the box below. Buccos take 2 out of 3 against the Cincinnati Reds in Cincinnati. So we have won 4 of 6 against the Reds this season. 4 of 6 in 9 days, as a matter of fact, against them. So I'm saying all this stuff as if there's a catch to it. And there is actually, because of course, why not? That's just how this team is. Oh, and the catch just happens to be our catcher's situation. So Monday, the Reds win it 11-5, disgraceful game. The only thing that you can take out of that game, if you're a Pirates fan on Monday, is that Brian Reynolds continues his hitting streak, knocked in an RBI, and then a 5-run fourth inning for the Reds, and that put it away. Everything else after that is secondary. But with that Monday game, it just showed right there that our catcher situation is just a complete mess. I mean, Ben Cherington's been the GM since 2019 now, and he is year after year flopped on all these catchers. And you want to know an alarming stat? Yasmani Grandal is 124th out of 125 catchers when it comes to controlling opponents' run per game. In other words, he has been very sloppy when he's been behind home plate and he can't defend well. That just stands to reason. Like I said, Ben Cherington has really whiffed on these catchers ever since he's been GM. I mean, I could sit down here and talk about all the letdowns that Ben Cherington's brought in, but Pirate fans, you guys are used to that right now. So instead, I'm going to go after the position that really alarms me. And I played catcher when I was playing baseball, okay? He doesn't try at all with the catching position. And like I said, it's because he doesn't know how catchers work. You're talking about this GM who went all in to find catchers who are okay defensively. They're not great. They're certainly not going to be Yogi Berra. They're certainly not going to be Buster Posey or Jorge Posada or Johnny Bench or you name it. They're not going to be great catchers. But you'd think that they could be good defensively, and they're not. And on top of that, they really can't hit all that well either. Couple of catchers just to name a few of them in the recent years: Jacob Stallings, Michael Perez, Tyler Heineman, Andrew Knapp, Austin Hedges, and now you get Henry Davis and Yasmani Grandal. I'm not going to put Joey Bart in there just yet because it's been a short sample size with him and he's injured right now. But I would say Joey Bart is by far the best catcher on this team right now. And when he comes back, you have a clear as day option who your catcher is going to be. It's going to be Joey Bart. I'll talk about Jason DeLay in a little bit because I know that he had a really solid game Wednesday. But even then, I'm not going to let, a short sample size with him change my thoughts on Jason DeLay either. But the fact is, Ben Cherington has been dumpster diving with these catchers for 5 years now. And the collective average that these catchers have been hitting is 186. That ain't no accident. That is the sign of a GM who doesn't know how to scout players, and he doesn't know how to scout the best available at each position. But getting on to the rest of the series, Tuesday, Buccos take it 9-5. Guess who? Brian Reynolds once again. 2-run homer in that game to extend the hitting streak. Edward Olivares had a 2-run single, and Jared Triolo also hit a 2-run homer. So the bats, as I said in the beginning of this video, coming to life in that series. Mitch Keller, I thought, pitched really well Tuesday. He even got out of a bases loaded jam in the third inning. And Mitch Keller, I'm just going to say it, looking like I was wrong with him. I said that he was looking like a waste of money. I said that he didn't deserve that contract extension. I said that he's very frustrating, but ever since like early May, Mitch Keller has really figured it out. He really is looking like the Mitch Keller from last year. He really is. I think he's figured it out. I'm saying that, now I'm in the mindset of, it was just a slow start with him for the season. But I think Mitch Keller's figured it out. And, when you take a look at the top three in this rotation, you take a look at it being Paul Skeens, Jared Jones, and Mitch Keller. I think that's a really good triple-headed monster right there for the top three in our rotation right there. I mean, honestly, at this point, you can arrange those three in any order, and you wouldn't be wrong with who should be your number one starter. But I think it should be Skeens at this right now. I think it should be Skeens, Keller, and Jones, just because Jones is still a rookie and Keller has been with the team for quite some time now. But man, Mitch Keller, I think he's really figured it out. His fastball's getting a lot quicker. His secondary pitches are starting to, get back on track, not fooling around with the breaking balls anymore. Mitch Keller has definitely figured it out. And then this afternoon, 6-1, Bucks get the job done over the Reds in Cincinnati. Pretty much a bullpen game. Luis Ortiz had his first true start this season, and he looked really solid. Career high 7 strikeouts in 6 innings for him. He was attacking the zone. He was pumping the balls in there. Slider was just a whiff machine this afternoon, and he was getting outs as well. Thought Luis Ortiz pitched really well today. And the bullpen in general, I thought, just did a really good standout job as well, especially with Aroldis Chapman. I mean, I've been tough on the guy all season because he blew a lot of games for us this year. But Aroldis Chapman, going up against his old franchise, his old club, and the old ballpark, he slammed the door real well, filling in at that closer spot for David Bednar. Don't really know the status of David Bednar, but if Bednar has to miss a significant amount of time, maybe Chapman is a good alternative to that, because you got to remember Chapman did start off as a closer. Now he's just your setup guy as far as I'm concerned, but I think Aroldis Chapman's a good consolation prize for the closing spot right there. So yeah, bullpen game, because we still got to deal with Martin Perez being hurt. Don't know when he's going to be come back. I heard that he's just starting rehab, actually. But for a bullpen game today, on a Wednesday, I thought it went really well for the Bucks. And of course, the offense, 6 runs. Andrew McCutchen drilled a 2-run homer straightaway center field. Jason DeLay, who I mentioned earlier, knocked in a 2-run double for great insurance right there. He now has 6 RBIs in 15 at bats for the Pirates so far. And like I said, maybe Jason DeLay can be that, guy that can complement it because he's definitely an upgrade over Yasmani Grandal at this point. But I really don't know if I'm ready to jump the gun on Jason DeLay quite yet because still I just don't like him defensively. And I think that his bat just needs to mesh a little bit more. But I'm not going to knock at Jason DeLay just yet. But then you get Brian Reynolds once again extending the hitting streak. Reynolds had a base hit in every one of these games. As a matter of fact, Brian Reynolds has now had at least one base hit in the last 23 games. So Brian Reynolds continues to extend that hitting streak. He's batting 280 on the season now. So, that's another thing that I'm glad I was wrong about. I said that Reynolds is looking like a waste of an extension. Oh my goodness. Brian Reynolds should be given the key to the city. That dude, I made a community post about this. The Pirates Mount Rushmore. I think you got to put June Brian Reynolds on the Pirates Mount Rushmore. I mean, 23 games in a row with getting a base hit. Can you imagine if he hits 30? Can you imagine if he even hits 40? Like that needs to be getting attention from like MLB Network or ESPN. But the guy's had a base hit in 23 straight games. Just keep on delivering. He's batting 280 on the season now, and he's easily the best hitter on this team by far and away. He doesn't try to do too much. He's knocking it through. He's hitting gappers, and he's got some good pop in his swing as well. He can hit a home run out of here. He can swat it every now and then. And I sat down here, said in frustration that he was a waste of an extension. Well, he's not a waste of extension. He's single-handedly carrying the offense right now. Now, I mean, that being said, I'd still like the offense to get more productivity out of their guys. And this series was a good series for that. I mean, like I said, Andrew McCutchen hit a 2-run homer. Jason DeLay now has 6 RBIs and 15 at bats. You had Eddie Olivares contributing. You had Jared Triolo contributing. So, yeah, maybe this is a good, maybe this can be the time where the Bucks really start to figure things out offensively because when we go to Atlanta this weekend to play the Braves, that's going to be another brutal series. I know we took 2 out of 3 against Atlanta earlier this season, but you can never count out the Braves. I mean, they're still just a really well-built team down there. So Friday night, when we play the first game against the Atlanta Braves in this weekend series, it's going to be game number 81, aka the halfway point of the season. And right now, the Pirates are sitting at 39-41 right now. Okay. Basically, the Bucks are on pace to finish around 81-81 or 80-82 if they keep this pace up. I don't love it, but at the same time, like I'd have mixed feelings about that because 2024 is supposed to be the year where everything falls into place and the Bucks are kind of are borderline a playoff team. And you take a look at this National League right now, there is as dumb as it is, there's a possibility the Pirates can be playing October baseball. That's only because the National League is weak. Okay? I would love to see this team in the playoffs. I would love to see this team compete for a World Series. I think any Pirate fan would love that. But they need to earn it. I don't want them to get in there by default because we all know what the end result's going to be. They're going to play a division winner, they're going to play a wild card team, and they're not going to do well. That's why I'm saying use this series right here as your turning point for the rest of the season, and it can start in Atlanta Friday night with the halfway point of the season. Okay? You're barely under 500. You should be over 500, but you had that slump in mid-April to pretty much all of May, and now you had a relatively good June. They're 13-10 in the month of June. But use this series against Atlanta to get back on track. And for the love of God, this doesn't change my mind on Derek Shelton or Andy Haynes whatsoever. Get them out of here. Yeah, I'm still saying that. I know the Pirates had a good month of June, but I'm still saying get Shelton and Haynes out of here. That's the only way that this team can truly be competitive and they can truly be a force to be reckoned with. But they take 2 out of 3 against the Reds. They continue the road trip down in Atlanta. Have a good series against them. I'm not kidding. Have a good series against them. Paul Skeens pitches in that series. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'm Mac, checking on out for the day. Have a good one, everybody.